Hi, my name is Gayatri and I will be your trainer for this session.
Hi, welcome to a quick introduction to Docker. This is lesson 13, and in this lesson we are going to see Docker networking. So by definition, containers run in a sandboxed environment and cannot discover or resolve names. This basically means that every container runs in an isolated environment and two containers cannot talk to each other unless you explicitly connect them or network them with each other. So let's come back to our command prompt or terminal and let's execute a command docker run -tid --name box1 Ubuntu Trusty. So basically we are creating an Ubuntu Trusty container and giving it the name box1. We have executed similar commands many times before. So if you haven't checked our previous sessions, I'll link them in the description box below. Similarly, let's go ahead and create a box2 container. So now we have two containers, box 1 and box 2. Okay, so now we're going to execute a new command called docker inspect. Now docker inspect is a command using which we can inspect the properties of any object in the Docker daemon, whether it's a container, it's a volume, it's a network, and so on. So in this case, we are going to be inspecting the containers box 1 and box 2. So you will get a large JSON output with all the physical properties of box 1. We need only the IP address of box 1, so we are going to grep the IP address. So that's the IP address of box 1. Similarly, let's get the IP address of box 2. So it's 172.17.02 and 172.17.03. Alright, now let's enter box 1 using the docker exec command, and let's open another terminal window and enter box 2 again using the docker exec command. So in one terminal we have entered box 1 and another terminal window we have entered box 2. Alright, so now what we are trying to do is trying to see if we can ping containers using the container name. So let's try ping box 2 from the box 1 terminal and it's not going to work. Similarly, let's try pinging box 1 from the box 2 terminal and it's not going to work. Alright, so the container name doesn't work. Let's see if the IP address works. So let's try to ping the IP address of box 2 from box 1. Alright, so that works. Similarly, let's try pinging the IP address of box 1 from box 2. And that works too. So the IP address works, but the container name does not work. Now, why is this working? Because as per definition, it should not work. Now, this is working because by default, all containers in Docker are created in a default network called the bridge network. And that is why by default, two containers can talk to each other using the IP address. Alright, and that is why in production, generally you will never create containers like this. You will always explicitly specify the network in which the container should be a member of. Alright, so we will see how we can do that very soon. So let's proceed. Two containers, if they are networked, can talk to each other using any port. So two containers that are a member of the same network can talk to each other using any port. So here using netcat, we are going to check if two containers can talk to each other using port 2222. So that's just a custom port. You can change and make it 3333. Okay. So on box 1 terminal, I'm going to execute the command nc-l2222. And on the box 2 terminal, I'm going to execute the command nc and give the IP address of box 1 and then 2222. And I'll type a message in the box 2 terminal and you will see it in box 1. Similarly, I'll type a message in the box 1 terminal and you will see it in box 2. Yeah. So now let's exit from the two containers. And let's now go ahead and delete the box2 container. Only the box2. We're not going to remove the box1. We are only removing the box2 container. And now we're going to recreate box2, but this time we're going to use the minus minus link flag. We have seen this minus minus link flag before in our previous session when we created a PHP and MySQL container. Yeah, so we're going to use the minus minus link box1. So what this flag is going to do is it's going to create the box2 container, and it is going to explicitly add an entry in the etc host or the etc host of the box2 container, which links box1, that is the name box1, to the IP address of box1. So it will get the IP address of box1 and hardcode an entry in the etc host of the box2 container. So an explicit linking is happening over here without any network. Yeah. So let's enter the two containers. So box2 can now ping box1 using the container name. Of course, the container IP will work, but box1 cannot ping box2 using the name. Why? Because the link was created only in box2. So when you use the minus minus link flag, you have to ensure that the container that you want to link to exists before you create the new container. All right. So now let's exit from the two containers and let's go ahead and delete them. Now we'll see how can we create a custom network. So I already told you that by default all Docker containers are members of the default bridge network. So let's go ahead and create a custom network in Docker. So we're going to execute the command docker network create and give it a network name. So in this case, I'm giving the name my-net. Okay. And like I said, you can inspect every object in Docker. So in this case, we are going to inspect the network. So we are going to execute the command docker network inspect and give the name of the network. And these are the physical properties of the custom network that we created. All right. So now let's go ahead and create box1 and box2 again. But this time we are going to make them members of our custom network. So when we create the container, we are going to give the minus minus net and specify the custom network name. So these containers that we are going to create are going to be members of the custom network and not the default bridge network. All right. Now we created the box1, and when we do a docker network inspect my-net, we see that in the container section, we have one item. So previously we didn't have an item, but now we have one item, and that is the box1. So we know that this network has got one container as a member, and that is the box1 container. Similarly, let's go ahead and create the box2 container. And when we do the docker network inspect, we see that now we have got two items under the containers. We have got box1 and box2. Excellent. Now let's enter our container. We enter box1 on one terminal window and box2 in the other terminal window, just like before. And let's see if we can now ping the containers using the container name. So yes, we can ping box1 from box2 using the name. Similarly, we can ping box2 from box1 using the name. And this is a feature of custom networks in Docker. So when you create a custom network, the containers in the custom network can talk to each other using the container name, provided you have explicitly given a container name. Yeah. And this is possible because of an automatic name resolution that happens only for custom networks in Docker. So even if the IP of the container changes, as long as they are in the same custom network, they can talk to each other using the box name. And remember, containers that are members of the same network can talk to each other using any port. So we can check that also. So using the netcat command, we can check if two containers can talk to each other through port 3333. You can give any port number over here, and the messages that you send from one container are available in the next container, and this shows that the two containers can talk to each other using any port. Alright, so now let's go ahead and remove the two containers and clear the Docker daemon by removing the custom network also. So Docker network RM. And with this, we come to an end of this session. Thank you very much for your time, and see you in the next session. Bye-bye. If you want to learn more about Docker or any other platform or software, you can always visit our website shri.cc, where we have different lessons for different platforms and software. So the duration for these lessons are different depending on the level of depth that you want. So if you just want to get an idea of the course, we have such sessions for you. If you want to go deeper, you know the basics, you just want to go deeper into it, we have such sessions for you too. So feel free to contact us via our website, which is www.shree.cc, sree.cc. So thank you very much for your time. Hope this quick video gives you an idea or helps you get started or keeps you curious enough to watch the other episodes. See you soon. Bye-bye. If you like this video, don't forget to click that thumbs up button and share this video with your friends. And also click that subscribe button and the bell icon so that you get notified every time we release a new lesson.